Welcome back to Scientific Self-Defense. A quick reminder from our last session. Before you start any session, remove distractions. Remember the list: music, phone, TV, pet, staring out windows. Don't do it. Focus your mind. Have the right clothes on that you need to feel like you're getting into it. And what we're about to do now, prepare the body for training. Preparations, we call them. Stretching, if you want to call them that. Please understand that we do not now or ever have to do any radical stretching. This is self-defense. If we teach you to do things that you can only do after stretching out and warming up for 15 minutes, it will not do you much good on a street corner. So this is going to be practical. The idea of these preparations is to minimize any soreness that you might have gotten tomorrow if you didn't prepare your muscles for new activities. And as we proceed on, it will also help you stretch out a little bit for some of the more advanced moves, which will challenge a little bit, but there's nothing that everyone can do these. That's the better way to put it. There's nothing that you have to be hyper flexible for, okay? So, first on the list, you've got your notepad ready, or take a screenshot now if you want to. The neck, we're just starting at the top of the body. One thing you do not ever want to do is roll your neck. It's very bad on the cervical vertebrae. So what we're going to do is start by tilting our neck forward as far as is comfortable and back as far as comfortable. Forward and back, forward and back. For me, and I'm far from hyper flexible, 4 is usually plenty. You might need to do a few more, maybe not that many, but at least 3 or 4 before every session. We'll do 4 today so we can flow right on into your next training session. Okay, we went forward and back. Now we want to look to the left and then look to the right. 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4. Now, if you hit a tight side somewhere, don't be bashful about stopping and staying on that one for just a little while to loosen it up. Okay, we've gone forward and back. We've gone side and side. Now we want to tilt to the side. Tilt left, back to center. Tilt right, back to center. 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, and 4. Now I want you to look at about a 45-degree angle off to your left or right. Tilt forward, tilt back, tilt forward. That's 2. This one is 3, 4, and 4. Obviously, we've got 2 angles to tilt to. Forward and 1, forward and 2, forward and 3, forward and 4. Now, keeping your head at this angle, lay your head on its side once, twice, 3, and 4. For some reason, this works better if you stay on the same side. Tilt it that way. Once, twice, 3, and 4. I'm sure a neurologist could explain it to you, but I just know it works. Aim your head at this side. Tilt it forward. Lay it over once, 2, 3, 4, and lay it to the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I said neck and the SCMs, sternocleidomastoid muscles. They come down through here, and they can be a problem for you. If you ever find yourself in a situation where if you turn your head to the side and it feels like you're getting hit by electricity, the vision blurs, you hear weird noises, you've got tight SCMs. These next 2 stretches really help for them. On the first one, what I want you to do is tilt your head back and then rotate it to the side. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then to the other side. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And the second stretching exercise for the sternocleidomastoids, head to the angle, lean it forward, and then picture taking this ear and laying it on this shoulder. 1, 2, 3. It's very similar to the one we already did at that angle, but having done it after this one makes the difference. Okay, lay it down. 1, 2, 3, and 4. We'll move down to the shoulders now. Nice circles going forwards. And going to the rear. Putting your arms up in this position. Okay, raise them up and lower them down. This is where it's usually tight on most adult males. 2, 3, and 4. This is a very important stretch because if you don't loosen up your shoulders, your rotator cuff will have problems. Teres major, teres minor, epiphyseal spinatus, those muscles, you don't want that to happen. Okay. Also for the shoulders, bring them around to the front, almost like you're hugging yourself with one over the top, and then the other over the top. Okay? Reaching up over your own back and down this way. Guide it with this hand, but don't grab it and force it. Okay? Just take your time. 4 times to the rear. Everybody will have a tight and a loose side, relatively speaking. Put your arm up behind your back. Use your other arm to kind of help it up a little bit if you want to. Okay? Hold it in position, and when it's there, do some of those shoulder rolls again. And then, same thing with the other arm, and a few shoulder rolls. Forward and back. To stretch our back, reach out to the front with one hand, to the side, reach around to the front, and help pull it around just a little bit with your opposite hand like this. You're stretching a little bit on the rhomboids, a little bit on the posterior deltoids, and 2 or 3 other muscle groups back in the back that, with names about this long. But the important thing is to stretch them. Okay, so we've gone neck, we've done SCMs, we've done shoulders, we've done back. Now the chest. The chest muscles get ignored, especially for guys that like to go to the gym and do thousands of bench presses, really build up the pecs. Well, we always forget to stretch them out. The best way to stretch the pecs is to stand in an open doorway, putting your hands up on the side of the door and start them a little bit higher than head high, and lean your body through the door, and you can feel that I'll be pulling back here. Slowly work your arms down to several different levels and stretching through. You can just do it in midair like I'm showing you here, and you can get something of a stretch. The advantage of doing it on a door, it lets you relax certain other muscles that will facilitate stretching your chest. If you're having to hold them up, that doesn't work as well. Remember, the only muscle that can be stretched is a muscle that is relaxed. If I'm standing here on one leg in sort of a half squat position, there's no way I can stretch this quad. It's under tension right then. And that is true to certain degrees on any stretch that we do. And we'll talk more about that in just a second. Namely, on the calves and toes. Yes, the calf, the back of the leg, you could stretch it out by simply stretching forward and do a lunge. But then you're tensing muscles to hold it in place. Find a wall or a door or a tall chair, something that's stable. Don't use a little rickety chair, because I want you to be able to use it, put your weight against it, lean into it, so that your front leg here, and by virtue of your front leg, all of your core muscles can be relaxed as you lean forward to stretch out the hamstring muscle here, the back of the calf, all the way down. Mostly calf on this one. Okay. And you can sort of squat into it. And you can just go about as far as you want to. And obviously we want to do it on both sides. Once again, we're not trying to become ballet dancers or Olympic gymnasts. We just want to have safe flexibility. The toes. If you can just picture yourself standing up to walk on your toes like that, that's flexing. It's actually flexing the leg muscles because there's none in the foot. But that's the position you want to put the toe in on the wall. And I wanted it to be seen out here so that back here, it makes more sense that when I'm lifting this foot up, I'm stretching the toes. And when I'm keeping it down, I'm stretching the back of the leg, the calf, and a little bit up into the hamstrings. See? So you got toes, and you can flow from your calf and hamstring stretch right into the toes like that. So you don't have to move around, and you're not balancing yourself and tightening your muscles. We did some of the hamstring here. More hamstring stretch is to put this leg forward and keep it straight and lean into it. How far do you lean? Well, how flexible are you? Don't overdo it. We're just trying to warm things up. Just lean into it gently off of both sides. Having the wall here means that we just became a 4-footed animal instead of a 2. Okay? There's the good old standby, of course, of toe touches. There's nothing wrong with a toe touch, except that what are we having to do? We're having to tense up our legs to do the exercise, so the stretch is not as effective. The quads, the front of the legs. Now, I have a little gadget that I use. Excuse me, I should have brought that closer, my fault. This is an old white belt. And you can simply put your foot in it, like so, and pick it up behind you to stretch the quads. Now, that will be necessary if you're really tight in the quads. If you can only get it part way, that's fine. If you're pretty loose, you can do it like that. It's no problem. Just don't be afraid to improvise tools to help you accomplish something that you can't accomplish otherwise. I have the privilege of using that tool because I did some damage in here and I haven't got it stretched back out yet. It takes a while. It takes a long time sometimes to rehabilitate an injury, and that's why I want you doing these things before you start training, because by doing so you'll have the very best chance of avoiding injuries to your body and discomfort that would keep you from continuing with your training on a regular basis. Thank you for being here. I look forward to seeing you next time.